Thank you for listening to VIP Internet Radio. Tell your family and friends about us. We aim to please because life is more fun with entertainment.
You are listening to the VIP Business Talk Show with your host, Don Emilio Zinno, on VIPconnections.com Internet Radio.
Hello, North America, and welcome to another segment of the VIP Business Talk Show. This is him, Don Emilio Zinno, your host, and all the way from New York City, actually Long Island, New York, the VIP Business Insider man himself, Mr. Rich Smith. Good morning, Rich. Are you there?
Good morning, Don. How are you today?
I'm somewhat peppy. You know, spring is just around the corner in a couple of days. Johanne's late as usual, you know.
Well, actually, I have a surprise guest right here next to me, Don.
Who?
Hi, Don. It's me, Johanne.
She's gonna laugh at that. I tell you that. Hey, I got to tell you, you've come quite a long way. You're impressing me more and more. You know.
There you go.
Yeah, you were. You know, when you first started the show a year ago, you were just an IT lame kind of a guy. You know.
Oh, well, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Well, better than just being totally lame like you.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, listen, you want to have a pissing match live on air? Make my day.
Why not?
I got up at 5:30 this morning. I could have slept that extra hour. Nay. Yeah. Anyways, Johanne's going to be showing up any minute, of course. And today's subject matters for today's show are, and this is right up your alley, Rich, is your computer system a friend or foe? And, of course, advised by you, Rich Smith. And then there's one that could be right up my alley. Define friendships in business, expressed by me, Don Emilio Zinno. And one that is right up Johanne's alley. When does one cut the life support system in business? Consulted by Johanne Serpone. Now, this show is being sponsored by VIPconnections.com and group Serpone.com. Okay, let's get going with our debate. Rich, you want to take it from there? Is your computer system a friend or a foe?
Well, that's a good one. Well, I don't really think that you can survive in business right now without computer network even, forget about just the system, but some type of a network so that way you can communicate to other users privately without going out on the web. But as far as the PCs, are concerned, in your daily trials and tribulations, do they tend to help you or do they tend to hinder you from what you're really trying to do, which is your core business? Unless, of course, you're an IT guy like me, where we dwell in the zone of computers and things like that and services. You know, if you're, running Jim Dandy cleaners or something like that, you're using a computer for a totally different reason than somebody who's a lawyer or a doctor. Each one of them have unique uses for the computers. A lot of it has to do with billing systems and so on and so forth. So depending upon who you talk to, they either love or hate the computer, quite frankly, but none of them can live without it. And I'd say the most difficult part of computers in today's world right now is knowing which system to buy and when to let go. And, a lot of times...
What do you mean by when to let go?
When to let go really has to do with when is it time to upgrade. And I've seen companies that said, we just bought this machine, and you look on the back of the machine, and there's a label on there with a date code, and it's like 8 or 10 years old. That's not a new machine.
No, of course not.
And quite frankly... a computer today to just be used in an office to do general computing needs isn't going to cost you that much money. You're looking anywhere from like $500 to $700 per unit in business, whereas 15, 20 years ago it was $1,500 or $2,000 per unit. So what that tells me is if you kept the economies of scale, every 2 to 3 years you should be updating your systems. And, we're talking business here. We're not talking, oh, this is my toy or this is a car or something. This machine has working parts in it that degrade pretty quickly over time, especially those hard drives. Those hard drives get loaded with a whole bunch of junk. You've done all these system updates. You've done everything under the sun. You download pictures, videos. You go to YouTube. You go everywhere. All that junk is sitting on that hard drive, and every time you load some new data on there, that hard drive has to find a niche, a little corner to throw that data in because you got all that other junk on there, even if it's been deleted. So, what I recommend to my clients are the computers that do a lot of work. Like, believe it or not, the least of these is the greatest of these. The secretaries, the ones that, hammer out letters and take care of billing and everything, you should be updating your billing system every 2 years. That's just my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. And every company that does that, you don't hear them crying, oh, we lost our backups, oh, we did this, we did that. So I think you just have to be diligent in updating your systems. Now, that doesn't mean going from Microsoft Windows version 7 to 8 or Apple's version Lion to Snow Lion to Snow, Cat, and the next version, every time a new version comes out. I'm talking about the hardware. The hardware is the key. I mean, there are still businesses running very well with Windows XP and Windows Server 2003 out there that have no efficiency issues whatsoever, and they're upgrading their equipment every 2 to 3 years. Believe it or not, you, Mr. Bigwigs, in green jeans sitting behind the big desk, you're the last person that needs to update your computer system because you don't do anything on it. You just sit there and read your freaking emails. So, get over it. If you want to have a Ferrari and a hot computer, you're going to have to make a choice between one or the other. I'm sorry, So, but Sally in accounting, that's the one that pays for your Ferrari. Get her the best computer you can afford.
Agreed.
Get the one that does all the multitasking, the best computer you can afford, and don't skimp on routers and go and buy, garbage from Netgear and Linksys, and invest. This is the core of your business. It's like saying, oh, well, I'm going to just eat a jelly roll every day. That's going to be my diet, and your heart dies on you, okay? Mm-hmm. So this is the heart of your business. Take care of your heart. Exercise brilliance, not just the whatever you want to do, but just invest where you really need it. Mm-hmm. And then your computer systems will be your friend and not your foe, because the number one computer that crashes in a business that impacts the business is the accounting computer. The one in the person's office that handles the billing, the accounts receivables, and the accounts payables. When that machine crashes, you're screwed.
Right.
So you need a backup plan. I personally suggest, because computers are so freaking cheap, that you have a computer mirrored in that office. So that way it's like the same computer at all times, talking back and forth to each other, updating files. So if computer A crashes, you just go and hook up your monitor to computer B and continue on with your day. And that's a strategy where all of a sudden now you feel like I'm empowered. I know I'm handling these tough times. And then off-site backups is another thing that I suggest as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, in your opinion, what's the lifespan of a computer, for example? Is it 3 years?
Well, I mean, quite frankly, I have systems that are 6 and 8 years old. Mm-hmm. It depends what you use them for, mm-hmm. And how whether or not you bought the bottom tier, the mid tier, or the upper tier of the systems. So, a lot of people think that Macintoshes are very expensive computers from Apple's. But when you look at where their bottom numbers come in, where their bottom processors come in, they start at the upper mid-level of the current processor lines, and then they go up from there. When you go and you look at a Dell or an HP or whatever, they start down in the dregs and then work their way up. So that $300-400 system, with a monitor, a keyboard, and a free printer, and a vacation to Barbados, that thing is a piece of crap. For all intents and purposes, it's an old technology. It's not going to take you through 4 or 5 years. If you go up to the top level in their organization and you're buying, real, serious high-end componentry, chances are you're going to be on par with the high-end Macintosh level computers. Maybe it'll be like $150, $200 less, but it's really what you put in it. And then servers like a Mac server is a great example. The Tower computer. I've been in data centers where they're running 7-8-year-old Macintosh servers in there, and with no reason to upgrade, because all they do is they swap in and out drives. They have dual drives in them. Mm-hmm. They mirror another one, slap it in, and they go. They take the RAM out, they swap it out, and they go. So for a couple $100 every couple of years, they're good to go for another 3 or 4 years, and that's because they made that investment up front. But for an office computer, I would say 2 to 3 years, mid-level processing, and you're good to go.
Well, Rich, what you pretty much have been describing in the first segment here of the VIP Business Talk Show is pretty much describing when a computer is a friend, right?
Sure.
And how much we need computers. You can't live without them. When we come back after our break, what I'd like to dive into is, when is a computer a foe? Like, all the problems that sometimes they have a mind of their own. Like, something happened to me this week where I thought I just wanted to get out of business. Everything went wrong from an IT perspective. And so, folks, when we come back, Rich Smith is going to dive in and explain you some of the, situations that people are faced with every once in a while, where you'd like to take that computer and throw it out the window. In other words, faux this. So, folks, stay tuned, grab your second cup of coffee, and we'll be right back here on the VIP Business Talk Show. Uh-huh. Oh, my. Look at this belly fat. I need to lose weight now.
AHA promises you to lose weight if you use their formula correctly. AHA's natural weight loss ingredients are very safe to use, and most people achieve their goals using AHA. AHA, or AHA, no matter how you pronounce it, try it today. AHA, the once and for all diet program for those committed. AHA. For more information, visit sbmgiga.com.
Hello, folks. I'm Johanne Serpone, co-host of the VIP Business Talk Show. And as a trustee in bankruptcy, I come across some negative news every day. I'm here to encourage you to read all about positive news. VIP Connection News, Positive News Shall Prevail, is featured monthly online by visiting VIPinternetnews.com. The world is changing in a positive way, and readers want more positive news. VIPinternetnews.com. VIPinternetnews.com.
Are you experiencing serious financial difficulties to the point of considering personal or business bankruptcy? If so, calm down and take note of Group Serpone. Group Serpone, with 6 offices in the Montreal metropolitan region, could help you with one of their trustees if bankruptcy is the way out to end your financial nightmares. Group Serpone, 514-355-6553, or visit their website, groupserpone.com.
Hello to all listeners of the VIP Business Talk Show. VIP Connections, the new and only online business ethics and referral club with its own radio talk show. We encourage all businessmen and women to share our vision of promoting ethical business people across North America by joining VIP Connections. To contact us, please visit our business portal, VIPconnections.com, and evaluate all of our privileges.
Hey, you think you can talk? I mean talk on radio as a talk show host. Hosting your own talk show on radio has never been so easy. Call us with a plan for creating your own talk show. here on VIP Internet Radio, Evolution in Progress. VIPinternetradio.com.
You are listening to the VIP Business Talk Show with your host, Don Emilio Zinno, on VIPconnections.com Internet Radio.
And we're back, folks, here on the VIP Business Talk Show where Rich?
Yep. I'm here.
Guess who just walked in during the break?
Santa Claus.
Close. Second and last chance?
The Easter Bunny.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I like that, Easter Bunny.
Folks, help me welcome Johanne Serpone, our Montreal co-host here. Good morning, Johanne.
Good morning, Don.
Yeah.
I apologize there for the first quarter. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning, Rich.
Good morning, Johanne.
It's difficult for Johanne. I forgive her because, honestly, I'm being honest, even though I don't necessarily want to pay you this compliment.
Okay.
You have 6 offices. It's a stressful time of the year for you, I believe, from January till the end of April, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's tax season and everything.
Everything happens at once. Everybody wants to restructure, go bankrupt, you name it.
We also do their returns. So
right. So it's like
it's hectic.
Nobody can talk to you, right? Except me once in a while. She takes my call once in a while.
No, but I'm good for the next 45 minutes now. I'm all good now that I'm sitting here.
Right. So now's the time for me to ask her favors.
There you go.
Live on air.
That's it.
So, Johanne, we just wanted to, especially for those of listeners just tuning in, is your computer system a friend or foe? Advised by Rich Smith. Define friendships in business expressed by myself later on. And when does one cut the life support system in business consulted by you? We'll leave you till the very end. You got that part?
Yeah,
so start thinking about it. Rich, when does a computer become a foe, an enemy?
Well, it sounds like you have a story for us, but, I talked about how to avoid them beginning an enemy.
Well, go
ahead, give us the deal.
Here's, we work on with PCs here in a studio. And at home, I've got a state-of-the-art Apple computer desktop, 22 inches, that I paid approximately $2,500, 3 years ago. But it's perfect.
Sure.
Forgive me. So what happens is, for the very, very first time, I thought I caught a virus. But you know what they say? It's very, very hard to get viruses with Apple computers. And but at the end of the day, it was problems with the email servers, and I was I was getting frustrated. I had to call you as an IT consultant. I had to call my HSP, hosted solutions provider. I had to call my ISP, internet service provider, and no one was taking responsibility until somebody, figured out the whole thing and it started working again. But I was being frustrated, for a good 48 hours, going nuts, people calling me, your emails are bouncing back, and so on and so forth. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So that's the reality, So.
Well, we understand how much we depend on them and how you've evolved because you know all the tech names of all your providers.
Right.
You're IT guy, you're this guy, you're that guy.
Would you listen to this lady, how I have evolved?
Yeah, well, I'm sitting here and listening. You've got quite a system where you've got all these 4 or 5 different techs dealing with.
For 22 years. How did you view me? Like some caveman? No. Just because I let my hair and beard grow. I shaved my beard. Have you noticed?
Yeah, you look quite young today.
Yeah, different, young. Wow. Okay. But
we depend on our computers. So when when you say the word foe, for sure you're right. When something happens like it happened to you, because even myself, when something turns around and really happens, as far as the computers are concerned, it's incredible how much we depend on them and how nuts we can go for those hours until everything gets back on track. But is it a foe? I don't know if it's a foe because we really depend on them today, and I think we just have to ride whatever our IT guys do to repair them and get them back on track. I don't know, Richard. I can't
Yeah,
see.
well, I agree with you, Joanne. And, one of the things that we were talking about in the first segment was one of the number one problems in the field that we see is that people hang on to systems for too long. Like they'll let a computer get into the 4, 5, 6-year-old category, and it's the one in accounting. And it's just like,
Wait. You know why she's smiling and laughing?
Don Emilio has this, Acer Ferrari $1,700 laptop, and he's riding high. But when the, $400 computer in accounting blows up, everybody's like, it sucks, whatever.
Jeez, you sounded like Rocky Balboa for a second.
Well, that's our innate self that's too dumb to realize that, it's always when tragedy hits that people say, I should have done this,
Yeah.
I should have been prepared. And that, and that's what I was talking about. I said, if I run a business and I get it to a certain point, the person in accounts payable and accounts receivable is the most important computer in the business. By far. I don't care what you do, unless, of course, you're graphic design or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are important, too. But if you can't collect and you can't pay your bills, you're out of business. Point blank. That's the most important system. I suggest, because you can get systems relatively inexpensive these days, is that your accounting person gets 2 computers and you mirror them, and when one crashes, and by the way, I said the word when, not if. When one crashes, they just plug the monitor into the second one and continue working, and you have the first one fixed, and then you either replace it or whatever. People have no contingency plans, and I see the picture of them standing by a river that washed away everything they owned, and saying, "Oh, I never realized that river's waters would ever raise above a foot above where they are now." And it's like, well, that's what rivers do. That's what computers do. They crash. They discombobulate. In your case, Don, you had a myriad of issues that who knows who the real culprit was, because
hang on, this is where I got the idea of doing a segment on computers, friends or foe, because I hated my computer. I hated everybody associated with offering me the service, and this is where I thought I felt targeted. I said, these guys hold everybody by the bottom. You know what I'm saying? And it's not fair. Do you find some truth to that? Like some of these vendors, I'm talking about software manufacturers that have their tricks of the trade, so that you're highly, highly dependent on them, and then so that you got to call them. Is that done purposely? I mean, I'm talking in terms.
You really have to. It comes
it.
down to this: Are you in a self-help business? When you're at a certain level, you have to be everything. Like there's a commercial on TV, and there's this guy named Dave, and you keep on seeing a caption like, "Dave, my computer's broken. Dave, this. Dave, that. Dave, you need to pay the bills," and it's him talking to himself. That's a reality about a brand new small business. You are everything in the business. But as you evolve, as Joanne says, as you evolve into a larger organization and you have somebody doing accounts payable and receivable and these things, you have to move beyond, I'll take care of it. Because you know what? You don't have time for that. You have to do your job in the business. Now, for some reason, even though you're paying somebody $40,000 a year to do this job and $25,000 and $50,000, you don't think you owe somebody who's going to save your bacon anything. They should come in and work for you for $50. That's a warped concept. You have to look at these guys and you have to assess, like, how much am I actually paying these guys on a yearly basis to maintain my business? And quite frankly, I've worked with companies where they say that we don't work with somebody unless they open up a service contract with us, because they're going to be a PIA client, somebody who only calls us when there's an explosion, and they won't let us near their systems unless it doesn't work, and they've got all sorts of junk going on there, and they are just a problem, and they're not going to want to pay their bill. They're going to think they deserve free service. And it really comes down to that old concept that you were talking about, Don, at one time, about, what was it, the businesses that want it all for free. Idiots. Yeah. Like you, right? So let's face it.
That's it.
You're making Don laugh. He's hiding behind his computer. He's laughing. Congrats.
Because, that's what it is, though. I mean, everybody thinks they deserve this. They should have to pay the garbage men to take the garbage out. But to solve my computer issues, which will keep me from making money, I don't owe anybody money, and I don't owe anyone for phone bills, and I don't owe anyone for phone systems or whatever. These are the staples of your business. And the companies that say, you know what, we're going to have a maintenance plan, we're going to maintain our systems, you don't hear them crying at the coffee shop about how, my email held me up for 3.5 days. No, you don't hear that. You know why? Because they have an IT guy that comes in. He goes through and he checks out their systems. He makes sure everything's running well. He checks for viruses. They put in firewalls. They do everything they need to make sure that you're not going to have a bad day. And when the bad day comes, they've already checked off 95% of the checklist. So they know, okay, this is probably the problem. This is probably the problem. They can help you remotely. They can do all this stuff. That's the right way to approach this.
John, Richard, too bad that you're in Long Island. I'm in Montreal, because I'd have you come in every day, take care of my computer, and, I'd probably shake your hand and feed you, a cup of coffee, and of course you'd do it for free, You follow what I'm saying? Something like that, because you got a generous heart. Folks, we're going to be taking another break here on the VIP Business Talk Show. And when we come back, we're going to let Johanne dive in as to when to cut the life support system in business. That's very, very important.
Wow.
In other words, when do we quit, if ever? Back in a moment.
Oh my. Look at this belly fat. I need to lose weight now.
AHA promises you to lose weight if you use their formula correctly. AHA's natural weight loss ingredients are very safe to use, and most people achieve their goals using AHA. AHA, or AHA, no matter how you pronounce it, try it today. AHA, the once and for all diet program for those committed. AHA. For more information, visit sbmgiga.com.
Hello, folks. I'm Johanne Serpone, co-host of the VIP Business Talk Show. And as a trustee in bankruptcy, I come across some negative news every day. I'm here to encourage you to read all about positive news. VIP Connection News, Positive News Shall Prevail, is featured monthly online by visiting VIPinternetnews.com. The world is changing in a positive way, and readers want more positive news. VIPinternetnews.com. VIPinternetnews.com.
Are you experiencing serious financial difficulties to the point of considering personal or business bankruptcy? If so, calm down and take note of Group Serpone. Group Serpone, with 6 offices in the Montreal metropolitan region, could help you with one of their trustees if bankruptcy is the way out to end your financial nightmares. Group Serpone, 514-355-6553, or visit their website, groupserpone.com.
Hello to all listeners of the VIP Business Talk Show. VIP Connections, the new and only online business ethics and referral club with its own radio talk show. We encourage all businessmen and women to share our vision of promoting ethical business people across North America by joining VIP Connections. To contact us, please visit our business portal, VIPconnections.com, and evaluate all of our privileges.
Hey, you think you can talk? I mean talk on radio as a talk show host. Hosting your own talk show on radio has never been so easy. Call us with a plan for creating your own talk show here on VIP Internet Radio, Evolution in Progress. VIPinternetradio.com.
You are listening to the VIP Business Talk Show with your host, Don Emilio Zinno, on VIPconnections.com Internet Radio.
And we're back, folks, here on the second half of the VIP Business Talk Show, whereby Johanne's going to talk to us about when to cut the life support system in business. And that's very, very, very important. In other words, when do we quit? You know?
Well, Donna, before we get into that subject, I would just like to add in a comment there for Richard's other segment. And to our listeners out there, I'm going to give my age away a little bit. What happens is viewing, I started in the industry with computers extremely young in the insolvency business. I remember when there was like a computerized typewriter where all we had was one line. And today, computers are controlling all our systems. What makes it very difficult for us business people is that in those times, it was like a computer system used to make an investment, and it would be there for like 10 good years. So you would see right away, like you would have your initial investment, maybe take your 2-3 years to pay the system. And then you had like that 5, 6, 7 years of good years still with the system until you changed it. Today, what I find very difficult is, and I'm right there with Richard, I turn around and I'm up to date with my systems and I change them and I was so surprised when he said the double computer in accounting because I have that system in place and I have right now actually it's been new because of my panic with these systems and how much you depend on it. I did get into a maintenance program and honestly when I see that IT guy come in I forget that I'm on a maintenance program and I think there's a problem and I go to my controller, what is he doing here? What is he doing here? He goes, Johanne, he's just here for the maintenance. I go, oh, okay. So, but the only thing that I find is that we just don't get a lot of time and it's always investing and investing and investing. You don't seem to get that break. You don't seem to get that 2-3 year break. And I think that's why sometimes entrepreneurs may give you a hard time, Rich. Okay, now I'm going to go into my segment.
Rich, are you still there after that preaching?
I'm there. But you know what? I gave them like a 3-4 year window on their systems. But the entrepreneurs, the younger, the smaller businesses, I agree. They're going to struggle. They're going to hang on to a piece of equipment till it's dead.
Yeah.
But when you get to your level of business, where you've got all these people working for you and everything. You need to invest in the hardware, and particularly you have to start with where you have the double systems and then, the key secretary people because they're beating their computers up. That's basically what it is.
Yeah. The
executives generally have the lightest use of their equipment and they're the first ones to upgrade. And so we have like a burnt out, screwed up system. Like, I need a new computer, So, I mean, they got their focus in the wrong place, and I'm sure I'm sure you have a brand new computer. That's why you're laughing, Joanne. I need a new system. So,
and I don't know how to use it.
I don't know how to use it. I want Windows 11, even though it won't be out for 4 years. I want it right now. Let's go.
Oh, that's so cute.
But it's true, and those are the guys driving the most expensive car. They have to have the most expensive computer, but they're not functionally using what they have. You just have to be very smart, and maybe don't get them the alien gamer case for the accountant area.
Hey,
but,
watch what you say about aliens, okay?
Yeah, well, I don't want to pick on your family, Don. So,
there we go.
We'll hand it over to Joanne now.
Okay, thanks, Rich.
So, Joanne, when does one cut the life support system?
When does one cut the life support system? Myself, I love business. I love it at all levels and all. It's a very difficult question. When does one cut the life support system?
That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, for sure. Like a lot of times, it would be easy to answer that question and say, well, obviously we have financial difficulties and our payables are in over our head and we got little receivables and little inventory, and that's the end of our life support and that's the end of our company. Often when companies come to me like that, I have a difficult time to turn around and say to them, this is the end. I said, this is the end of this company as you know it, but now let's try to see if we can give it a success rate and go forward and clean some of the payables out and review some of the...
It's called restructuring.
Restructuring, yeah. Restructuring.
Right.
Now, sometimes there's... So that's one thing. We can restructure companies and go forward, and they can become successful. And sometimes, like let's say for example, it's just the time is not there. The idea for a certain product is too avant-garde, and sometimes it just, even in restructuring, it just doesn't go forward, and then there is a time where we have to stop. And that, I think, we can only learn through various experiences and through time. Because I've seen some companies where even though we've restructured them, we had to at some point say, okay, this is enough, we stop now. And a lot of times is maybe the location was not the right location, be it if it was a restaurant, this or that. Or sometimes the product was too avant-garde for an entrepreneur had a vision that was a little too much ahead of his time. So the idea, it wasn't ready for that. For example, the Canadian market, so it has to stop.
But hold that thought. What about when you get comments from an outsider, whereby he or she has no money vested into the game, he or she doesn't know anything about the business, and they come and tell you, "Don't you think it's time to quit?" What gives them the right? This is where they don't share the vision. They don't know sweet F all about, sorry, I didn't say the magic word, but they don't know anything about the business. And they come and tell you, don't you think it's time for you to quit?
I think when that happens, when that happens, these are people that are around an entrepreneur that cares. So because
that cares,
yeah.
Wait, hold that thought,
yeah.
Rich. I need you to help me there. Rich, wait a second, Rich.
Oh my goodness,
Rich, we're going to have a battle of the sexes right here on the VIP Business Talk Show. She hit a sensitive note, and you know what? I had the same conversation with my wife last night. So here you are taking that same dirty needle, and shoving it in my veins. Rich, are you going to help me here or what?
Well, they just don't want to see you suffer. People close to you really can't listen to like family members because unless they're part of the business itself,
right?
And they could take a look at it from a business point of view, But outsiders, like friends and family, they just have an opinion that, who knows, they might think that, you know what, you're not a radio guy, you're a garbage man, go do garbage work, and, they have a concept. You have to ignore those voices.
Well, first of all, I'd feel miserably at delivering garbage.
Well, Richard, you said exactly what my thought was. That's what when people that around you say that, you have to respect them and you have to associate that they care. Because if a person doesn't care, they wouldn't have a comment like that to tell you. And so for sure they care. But then, of course, just like Rich said, what happens is that they don't see it. They're not in it. It's an industry they don't understand.
Right.
So all they see is your work, your labor, and your strength. And now, if we're going to use this example, for example, of you, Don, what you're doing here today is very avant-garde. It's ahead of its time. And we're getting there with internet radio. Maybe the younger generation is there, but we got the older generation that's got to catch up. So when you're doing something that is avant-garde, you're going to have resistance. And the resistance is because you've got to put extra man hours of work to make it successful. Now, this is where you asked me the question, when do I let go or don't let go?
First of all, I want to get one thing straight because we're live on air. I was not referring to my radio business, by the way.
Sorry.
It's my other business at night because you don't know where I'm a male stripper for a senior citizens club. So they told me quit while you're ahead.
Well, I was using it as an example. I wasn't saying that it's this business. I was using it as an example. And I think it's a good example because I wouldn't be here if I didn't endorse it.
I know, of course.
So we all.
I wasn't referring to that. But I wasn't referring to that.
That's right.
But I was referring about something else.
In general.
Some of my other investments, if you want to call, stock market.
Whatever the case is, in my opinion, when do we let go?
Right.
Is particularly when it's like something that is very difficult for people around us to understand, is we just give it the all until we, as the person leading the business, are ready to let go. And
Congratulations.
that is the answer.
That is the answer I was looking for. Thank you. God
and
bless you.
that is the real answer at any person. And this is like we were using your business as an example, but this is also for our listeners. Because I'm sure our listeners, in particular, look, in business, it is very difficult. Mm-hmm. We turn around and share, and we are the visionaries that produce or market or sell or whatever we do. We have responsibilities for ourselves. We have responsibilities for our employees and families and everything that we feed. So with our visions, we do things. And sometimes we have our moments where we say, I'm tired. Maybe this is the time for me to give it up. And especially in business, the cycles, there's historical cycles of revenues and losses that have been as far as back as we can think of in centuries. There are accounted cycles that have taken place. Mm-hmm. So for sure if we've been in business 20, 30 years, we've gone through our ups and downs and cycles in our businesses. When we're in an up, well, the ups are easy. When we're in the down, it's hard. It takes a lot of energy to keep everybody going and our responsibilities and all going. And so when we're down, we turn around and get tired. But meanwhile, we have to continue doing what we're doing, because this is what we as a human being in that particular position was programmed to do. So what happens is we got to keep going, and when we stop, that's it. That's the time to stop.
Folks, we're going to be taking our last break here on the VIP Business Talk Show. When we come back, it's definitely West time, WAS wrap-up time, and we may continue with some of Johanne's thoughts, but stay tuned, because I'd like to expectorate as to how to define friendships in business. That's very, very important.
Oh, God,
as far
is
as
it
I'm
complex
concerned.
this morning?
It is. And, because it pays to listen to the VIP Business Talk Show. So, folks, grab that last cup of coffee. I wish somebody would bring me a cup of coffee. But anyways, we're going to be right back here on the VIP Business Talk Show.
Uh-huh. Oh, my. Look at this belly fat. I need to lose weight now.
AHA promises you to lose weight if you use their formula correctly. AHA's natural weight loss ingredients are very safe to use, and most people achieve their goals using AHA. AHA, or AHA, no matter how you pronounce it, try it today. AHA, the once and for all diet program for those committed. AHA. For more information, visit sbmgiga.com.
Hello, folks. I'm Johanne Serpone, co-host of the VIP Business Talk Show. And as a trustee in bankruptcy, I come across some negative news every day. I'm here to encourage you to read all about positive news. VIP Connection News, Positive News Shall Prevail, is featured monthly online by visiting VIPinternetnews.com. The world is changing in a positive way, and readers want more positive news. VIPinternetnews.com. VIPinternetnews.com.
Are you experiencing serious financial difficulties to the point of considering personal or business bankruptcy? If so, calm down and take note of Group Serpone. Group Serpone, with 6 offices in the Montreal metropolitan region, could help you with one of their trustees if bankruptcy is the way out to end your financial nightmares. Group Serpone, 514-355-6553, or visit their website, groupserpone.com.
Hello to all listeners of the VIP Business Talk Show. VIP Connections, the new and only online business ethics and referral club with its own radio talk show. We encourage all businessmen and women to share our vision of promoting ethical business people across North America by joining VIP Connections. To contact us, please visit our business portal, VIPconnections.com, and evaluate all of our privileges.
Hey, you think you can talk? I mean talk on radio as a talk show host. Hosting your own talk show on radio has never been so easy. Call us with a plan for creating your own talk show here on VIP Internet Radio, Evolution in Progress. VIPinternetradio.com.
You are listening to the VIP Business Talk Show with your host, Don Emilio Zinno, on VIPconnections.com Internet Radio.
And We're back, folks, here. We're just toying around here behind closed doors. We're having a lot of fun here on wrap-up time here on the VIP Business Talk Show. I'm Don Emilio Zinno, your host, with Johanne Serpone here in Montreal, and all the way from the Big Apple, the VIP Business Insider, who incidentally is going live this coming Monday night, Rich Smith.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. Finally. Yeah. It took us a lot longer than we anticipated, but better late than never.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and we're going to have all kinds of various guests, that Rich is going to interview as the VIP Business Insider. I'm excited.
It's going to be, I wish you guys a successful show.
VIPinternetradio.com is coming out with 3 new shows called Conspiracy. Rich Smith at 6 p.m. because, for internet radio, it's prime time. You know what I'm saying? 6 p.m., Rich Smith with the VIP Business Insider. Then comes Janice Capart. She's an ex-9/11 commissioner, from the States, legal, and she's coming out with a show called the Homeland Security Show, which I'm producing. Very proud of myself.
Wow.
And then at 8 o'clock is Conspiracies, Believe It or Not, with Rob Roselli from New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 3 shows back to back. All the way from the tri-state area, US of A,
there sound
I'm proud of myself.
You must be.
Yeah, they're going to be calling me Merv Griffin, the Canadian version of Merv Griffin.
That's great. It sounds like very interesting topic matter, too. So it's good. I wish you all the best with it.
Thank you. We look forward to it. So, yes, we're undergoing a lot of changes, but and you have to do that. But now on the last segment, we want to define friendships in business expressed by me. Now, Rich, how would you, I'm going to be putting you and Johanne on the spot now. Ooh. All right? How would you define, let's start with you, Rich. How would you define your level of friendship with yours truly? The truth now. And don't be afraid because I'll tell you the truth, but you talk first.
Well, they have that old saying, you keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So,
and what's wrong with that?
No, but I'm saying,
sure.
Right.
We're pretty good friends, I guess. Business-wise, we keep everything on a business level, and we share each other's lives. But how would you like me to frame that answer?
The truth.
I am so happy you had to go first, Richard.
There's a good truth. Okay, but let me set the stage as far as these types of friendship.
Yeah,
I've always known that you have no friends in business, but then I was wrong and I corrected myself, and I'll tell you why. Because I've learned that a lot of my business friends have become real good friends because you spend 3/4 of your life in business. You talk to them and you see them more often than your own personal friends.
Sure.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's true.
So after a while, of course, you always have to make sure that you cross the T's and dot the I's and never let your guards down, just in case, someone, gets hit with a brick and forgets that friendship between both parties. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying, it's important to have these friendships because it makes business that much more fun, enjoyable. This is where you put passion. Remember, we talked about passion. When you're well surrounded with people you like and care for, you have to maintain those business friendships at all costs. And I, for one, there's people that I'm not doing business with anymore, either because they don't share my vision or because they don't have the money to pay me, what I'm selling. But guess what? We talk to each other every once in a while, and it's fun. It brings back, hey, guy, thanks. Don't you remember, you gave me business and, thank you very much for believing in me. I'm just calling because I miss you. I wanted to say hello to you. Mm-hmm. Wow, you're kidding. And then they do the same thing. It's reciprocated. Did you follow?
I follow Rich,
Mr. New York
and Don. I really do. Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. So
you don't stop to think about it, but you're right that over the years you do become friends. Because what happens?
Right.
It's a form of friendship and trust.
It's
and particularly with some of your suppliers and people around you.
Right.
These friendships can span like 30 years. Like I'm thinking of some of them that have started with me from day one, and you've raised families together, and watched children get married, and had a whole cycle of a life together, and still your friendship and relationship is there. Then, of course, there's other friendships that have developed in business that are more come and go, and then there's a certain bulk of it that stay. And it's a different type of a friend, though, somehow. If I think of it personally, it's like, let's say your private life is like after one group of friendships, like
right.
if you look at your friends, I'm not saying family and what, and then your work life, it's like another group of friendships that have established. They're a little bit like your friends, not like the whole family's friends, on your private life.
Right.
But meanwhile, they know all about your private life, and you know all about theirs. So it is quite interesting.
But it's and I have a lot of business friends that are become dear friends.
Yeah.
Do you follow what I'm saying? And once in a while, you do mix. You let your guards down, and you tell them about your personal dilemmas or what have you, because you can trust them. You've learned to trust them. After 10 years of business, they're not going to screw you. I mean, anything's possible. I mean, for that matter, your own family members or best friends can screw you. You follow what I'm saying?
But you're right.
Also, there's the whole factor of, in business, you're never allowed to screw up. For some reason, we've created this environment in business that once you screw up, you're, a piece of junk and nobody wants to talk to you anymore. And, you need those other friends to be able to, help you to be accountable on things, where business, like business relationships, that's not a good area, because of the whole stigma that basically they'll have to cut themselves off from, being around you if you do struggle in any way. And I think, a lot of people that struggle with like alcoholism and drug addiction, they, they could never reveal that to their business friends because they would lose all credibility in whatever they do. And I mean, just because somebody has a drinking problem doesn't mean they're not a brilliant person that can't solve your problem.
I agree with you, because as a matter of fact, what goes on behind their closed doors, I mean, I got to watch how I say that.
Yeah, because now I really will believe that you're a male stripper here.
No. Okay, touche.
Oh, you didn't see the show on Friday?
I don't know.
This is probably going to get me...
Thank God we're on radio.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Johanne. This is probably going to get me in a lot of trouble. But anyways, folks, nay. I'm not a male stripper. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is that, the fact about alcoholism, now that you brought it up, Rich, I'd be worried if the pilot behind closed doors was flying me drunk. Now, whether he gets drunk after hours, that's really his business, as long as he's sober on the job. So that settles that part. Do you follow what I'm saying? Yeah. So and that's the same thing when, for example, I mean, we're deviating from the subject matter, but just to close off that can of worms is that, for example, if somebody has got a bad character, because of home situations, they're going through a divorce, whatever,
stress,
have personal problems, stress, don't take that to the workplace. Do you follow what I'm saying? Yeah. Like when I let my guards down is at home, because I figure my family most of the time will understand and forgive me. Do you understand what I'm saying? But when I'm on doing my work and promoting other people's goods or services, I'm not going to bring my dirty laundry to work. Take it from there,
Yeah,
Johanne.
You're right, Don. In the end, what happens is that there's all different types of friendships that are established. As human beings, we have all different types of relations. So we start our morning and until we end our day. And each one of us, we give to a relationship and then we take from a relationship. So what happens is, you're right, like you're in business, we do establish friendships, and you're right to always, we have to be careful to cross our T's and dot our I's and whatever. And I think we've got to maintain that balance. So the type of friendship that we establish in our work environment and the type of friendship we establish in our private lives are truly two different types of friendships, but both important.
But
both
you know
important
what?
For our day.
Something happened to me very recently, and I'm very proud of that because, it's 2012. It's the year of the change as far as I see it. And that being said, I approached someone, of course I won't mention names, and I told that person, I said, listen, guy, I know you're going through rough times. Can I help you with? Unfortunately, I don't have any money to give you or lend you. I really don't, okay, because I need it for my own restructuring business plans, you know. And I said, but there is something I can help you with, is give you some free advertising. And the guy looks at me and says, Don, it's well noted. Thank you, but in my case, advertising is not the problem. It's deeper than that. I says, well, don't worry, just keep it up. And, you know, this is why I came up with these subject matters.
Yeah,
keep it up. When do you cut the cord? I says, well, listen, I have a friend of mine. I was thinking of you, Johanne. I said, you know, she might be able to help you, blah, blah, blah. He goes, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah,
I'm not ready, even for the restructuring. I says, I understand. I says, it's something personal, but don't be afraid. It's kept very confidential, just like a lawyer. Nobody's going to betray you. I just want you to know, and you know, my position stands. I'll give you some free advertising if it can help you. He goes, Don, well noted. You are truly a friend. I was very proud of that because, you know, you're saying, what can I do? Can I?
Yeah, well, I can do whatever I can do.
You know, if you.
But if you listen to your friend, and we go back to the other segment, I don't know if our listeners were with us on the other segment.
Johanne, look at the time. Oh God, 55 seconds left, folks. We want to thank you, wish you all the best in health and in wealth. My greatest enemy, the clock, 47 seconds.
We can go on and on and on.
We're going to carry this over to next week's whatever subject matter will be. Until then, we want to wish you all the best in health and in wealth because it goes hand in hand. So God bless everyone. Keep spreading the news that it pays to listen to the VIP Business Talk Show. More with us, Johanne Serpone. Thank you. Rich Smith, thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye, folks.
You're welcome.
And have a great week until next one.
You were listening to the VIP Business Talk Show with our host, Don Emilio Zinno. We encourage you to join us next week as we bring you another VIP guest, where it pays to listen to the VIP Business Talk Show on VIPconnections.com Internet Radio.